We are not sponsored by Dasani. Did everyone piss? This is gonna be an hour-and-a-half episode. Did everyone piss?
What if I get like the runs really bad?
Welcome to Adventures back to Scholars and Skeletons. This is episode 7. Today, this is actually our Christmas special, seeing as this, apparently, hopefully, if we're on track, this episode will land exactly on Christmas. So happy holidays to all of you out there. We have a special holiday episode, which is gonna get dark deep, but have the holly jolly joy that it's always gonna have. So once again, in the last episode, we actually had our characters describe what happened last time. Should be fresh in their minds, so I'm gonna do that one more time and ask you. Helm did it last time, yeah. So let's see if one of the other guys can.
I did it last time.
I did some of it.
Can you roll a deception check?
What?
No, I'm joking. Don't do that.
Insight.
Just someone describe.
Natty 20.
I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
So we started off with Havok unconscious because of Helm. Then there was a lot of fighting. Havok was unconscious most of the time. Pretty much all hell broke loose. All the warriors were just killing innocent civilians. And Helm broke out of his trance of murderous rampage.
Thanks to Pip God.
Pip hit him with his sword. And then he tried to go and help people, got himself knocked unconscious. Me, Grimlick, dragged him to the body chute, and we jumped down there into a bunch of dead bodies. We kind of talked, argued, fought, then ended up okay down there. And then we kind of ventured our way out. Havok went invisible for a little bit. That was kind of strange, but it happened.
Important details.
Then we made our way out to the beach, and we saw a boat that we decided we were going to travel to.
After we found the journal.
Oh yes, we did find the journal that gave us a little bit more information about the Brotherhood, something about fighting the Crown, and we decided we wanted to travel to a location where they're trying to get slaves to also be sacrificed.
Now, did Grimlick tell us what he read in that journal?
Yeah, I was telling you guys that.
Okay,
All right,
just making
so
sure.
Anything to get super into detail, you can check out last episode.
We also, surprisingly, leveled up.
Oh,
We did level up
That
during.
happened.
We are
at the end
finally
of the last
level 2.
episode. So we'll start off with Helm. Just go ahead and describe what you did and what you got.
I'm a fighter, so it was pretty simple. I got a little beefier, got a couple more hit points, and I got a ability called Action Surge, which basically just lets me take an extra action once per rest. So I can get an extra attack in, or get an extra distance move in, or something along those lines. That's it.
I basically gained 3 hit points, and
You went up to 5, right?
I went up to 11. I gained 2 sorcery points through the font of magic, and I changed detect magic to charm person, and I gained chromatic orb, and that's about it.
Nice. I am a cleric, so at level 2 I got to choose a domain, and I chose the knowledge domain. Just for the future, allows me to unlock different spells, makes my brain pretty big. I learned channel divinity, which kind of gives me 1 bonus every time I rest on a specific spell. And then I also learned turn undead, which allows me to spook away undead creatures.
Cool.
Very useful so far.
Yeah, and just real quick, Seth, did you
never
write down what your 2 ones do, so that way we don't have to go to the player handbook?
Yes,
every
I
single time?
jotted a little note. Charm person, basically duration of 1 hour. You can attempt to charm any creature basically within range. They have to make a wisdom saving throw with advantage if fighting it. If it fails, it's charmed up until the duration or if it's harmed, and after it knows that you're charmed. And then chromatic orb is basically a 4-inch diameter energy orb of any element, and it takes 3d8 damage.
That's pretty. I like that.
It's pretty hefty.
That's really good.
That was a level 1?
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll have people out there double check that.
You can double check it.
No, but so like we said.
Put in the comments section down below if we're
in the
wrong.
last episode, we talked about you guys took the dinghy that was on the shore as soon as you came out of the little chute, the river that ran through this cave. You guys grabbed the dinghy, pushed it off to a boat that you saw in the distance that had a bunch of lights on it, and you heard music, and you saw people dancing and jumping around on the ship, so you decided this is it looked like the only ship that had people on it, because the rest were dark. This was the only one that had lights lit up on it. So you took the dinghy, rowed your way up there. The dinghy hit the boat right by the anchor chain where it docked itself in the water, and as soon as you hit the boat, you saw a thing of booze just get tossed off the side and land in the dinghy.
Was it empty?
It was empty.
Did it make a sound?
It hit the boat, but it doesn't look like anybody really paid attention to it.
I pocketed
It's
it.
close.
Just an empty bottle. All right, you have an empty booze bottle.
What kind of booze?
Yeah.
Okay. Good talk.
Hold on, let me just go through my wide encyclopedia of
Alcohol?
booze.
I'm gonna roll a perception check to see if there's any way that we could get on the boat.
Okay.
12.
The chain.
Okay.
So, like an athletics check?
Yeah, to climb
Okay.
your way up there.
So-
only half the group, like 2 of you.
So I
got
sheath
that.
my sword and I grab onto the chain and
Okay.
start going.
That's just spawned in
12.
one
I know.
spot.
No,
It
it's
didn't go
12.
anywhere.
My athletics
What'd you
check
get?
is 0.
7.
7.
We're just struggling real hard.
Yeah, you're
We're just
really,
so tired.
you're really tugging on this chain. You're really trying to pull. None of you can pull yourself up on this chain.
It's slippery.
It's a slippery.
I'm sliding down.
Slippery, maybe. I don't
There's
know.
algae
It
on it.
hasn't been on the
There's
water.
algae.
It hasn't been in the water though.
Yeah, but it's just accumulated.
How is the ship staying in one place if it's not in the water?
This part of the chain isn't in the water.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
go in the water.
I mean, it's splash.
I'm not gonna have you guys roll again, but you struggle. It takes you a couple minutes just to get one person hepped
That's
up
okay.
and moving along.
Maybe
You
we can
guys
find another way up.
were really slow to the point where you couldn't shimmy your way across the boat and try to hide at all. So you kind of just lift yourself up and over the side. And when you all come over the side of the boat, you just see a bunch of dwarves dressed up as kingsmen dancing around and throwing bottles everywhere. You see a few people tied up.
They look
that
like
seem
townspeople?
Yeah, that look like some townspeople that got pulled off to the side for their own personal games, whatever that may be.
So
and
they're
then-
bad guys.
And then you see what looks like to be the ship captain. He's wearing different Brotherhood clothes, and he's wearing a kind of like a captain's hat, kind of like a pirate, but it's fashioned to look more in the colors of the Brotherhood with black.
How many dwarves are there?
There's only about like 6, 7. There's not too many.
And is there any townspeople tied up that look capable of fighting?
You see a few women. That's it.
Only women?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna whisper to these guys. I think we should hide and see where they're trying to figure out where they're going.
Hide where?
You gotta be quiet.
Have it. You got it.
Is there like
keep
any
your
below
voice
deck
down.
place that we
Yeah.
could hide?
Yeah. There is, but they're all kind of dancing around.
So are they really paying attention to us?
no, they seem all way too wasted and
Yeah.
just like
Ha-
they look like
wait.
they're having a really good time.
What if we have Havok go create a distraction?
Can you do
Did I say
that?
there were 6 of them? 6 total?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is 6 in the captain or 6?
6 in the
I mean, worst comes to worst, we get into a tussle and have to take him out.
I got this. So I'm gonna cash.
Well,
Ca-
not yet. Hold on,
Not
Havok.
yet.
I kind of do a perception check to see where there's not maybe go below deck, but just hide behind maybe some barrels or
There's
anything.
A few barrels. Yeah, there's
Okay.
just a few that like empty booze barrels that they toss. There's like 5 or 6 empty ones. So
Like-
you know that they're well into their alcohol.
So we could just go like hide behind those
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we do that then. All right, Havok, do your thing.
Excuse me,
I
everyone.
missed.
I present you the king, and I'm gonna do a minor illusion of the naked king, bare ass, running across.
Do you know what the king looks like?
It's me, but with a crown.
Oh no. Not the actual.
And one of the dwarves that was dancing around. There's one that's a bard and he's playing music and stomping on the deck. And nothing really stops. Some of them are still dancing around. Maybe 1 or 2 of them look over at you, and the one that's like totally out of it has a kind of like a not a ball cap. It's more like a beanie that's kind of like falling off to one side. Scraggly, patchy beard. He's wearing typical sailor's clothes, just a leather jacket with something underneath with what looks like a sash has bolts in it. You can see that he has a small hand crossbow at his side, and he's holding a bottle of booze. He walks over. He's like, "That's not the king." And he's like, "Who are you? And how did you get on here?"
I'm the king.
And he looks over to his buddy. He's like, "Hey, Ralph, this guy thinks he's the king." And the other one looks over. He's just like, the king? It's whatever. You're not the king. Would you like some alcohol? And he lifts up a bottle of booze.
I will.
Okay, so he tosses you a half bottle of open booze.
I guess we're in.
I chug it.
Catch it first.
Oh, okay.
He catches it with his mouth.
This is strength check, I guess.
No, it's dexterity.
Oh, dexterity. Okay. 10.
Yeah, you fumble it and it falls on the ground, and then everyone's like, that's when the music stops.
Oh no.
And all the dwarves look at you, and all at once they scream, "Party foul!" And they all start dancing and jumping around again.
Okay.
So
I
they're
still
not
pick it
there.
up and drink it.
Okay, that's when you start licking it off the ground again. It
What?
broke.
Like what? I don't know what to do here. Like I feel like we're okay, but I don't.
The captain starts walking over towards you.
Towards us or towards him?
No, he looks like he was just standing on. He was on an upper deck. He was towards the wheel of the boat.
But they're
He's
hiding.
walking towards us or
Yeah,
him?
Yes, he's walking towards you guys.
But they're hidden.
To the drunk people.
Oh.
He walks over. He's like,
Look alive.
"Hey, what are you laddies doing?
I'm the king.
You're not the king. Shut up."
We're just trying to catch a ride.
We saw some music and heard you guys being all merry up here, so we decided to come check out, see if we could join the party.
Aye. The dumb ones are dancing and having a party. Little do they knew, thousands of people back on the island are being slaughtered like pigs.
Wait,
Think that's funny?
Yes.
wait. You don't think it's funny?
No.
You're not a part of this?
I'm one of the dwarves that they decided to put me on the boat, and now I'm just one of the captains.
So let me get this straight.
Sorry.
They made you captain, but you're not on their side.
No,
How exactly did that happen?
they pay me gold.
Inside check.
Go
Insight
for
check.
it. Yep.
Oh man. 12.
Yeah. To you, it seems like he's telling the honest truth.
Oh,
Sorry.
I believe him.
Sorry to break it to you, but they told me that I'm the captain now. Persuasion.
I'm the captain now.
I don't know about that, laddie, but okay.
Can I not do persuasion?
Yeah, you know what? You don't. You want to? Do you want?
I wanted
Do you want to drive the boat?
Yes.
You can drive the boat.
Okay.
Obviously, you lads went off the island.
Yeah, we would very much like that. I'm pretty sure we could pay you. We don't
Yes.
have much, but we can. We can
You
give
want
you
to pay
some.
me? Kill these men.
What?
Kill these men.
Why do you want that? They're your crew.
They're not my crew. I'm practically a prisoner.
But then, how would we be able to man the ship? Don't we need crew
I'm
members?
the captain, and you're the crew
I'm
members.
I'm
I can teach you how to set a sail.
All right. This.
Where are we
this,
heading, Captain?
This ship, does it look
Wherever-
like it's
wherever you
small
ladies
enough where only 4 people could man this ship?
Yeah, I mean, to you, it looks like there's only a few places where anything would have to actually have to be done. To you, I don't think you have a huge boat knowledge on whether or not you actually know whether this boat can be manned by 4 people or not. But he seems pretty confident.
Yeah, unless I'd have to roll survival, I don't think that I
Yeah.
would have a big boat knowledge.
Oh.
What are you
see,
thinking,
laddies,
Helm?
I would go to my cabin, and once you're done with the mess, we can be on our way.
I see. Let's do it.
I'm sick of the bloodshed. I
Is there
don't
any
wanna
other way,
kill any
Captain?
more people.
We don't want to see any more death.
Toss him off the plank.
I have an idea.
Well,
Okay.
like a swimming contest?
I mean, that could work. We're pretty intoxicated.
I mean, it wouldn't be us
Why don't
doing
we
the
tell
dirty
them
work.
the ship is sinking and we have them get on the little boat?
But we make them empty their pockets first.
I don't care what they do with their pockets.
Can you do anything to make it look like water's on deck?
I can.
How many spell
I
slots
see.
do you have left?
Minor illusion's a cantrip.
Oh, I forgot. So broken.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful because you're wild magic.
Oh yeah, we forgot the do wild magic.
Nope,
No, I
stop.
did it.
Too late. Oh, what?
Okay.
I did it.
Oh, we're good.
All right.
Okay.
If you take a fight,
I look around.
Well, I don't know if you guys. You just know that weird stuff happens when he casts magic.
Okay.
You don't know, like you know it comes from Havok because obviously you've been around him long enough now to know
Right.
that when he casts magic, some weird shit goes on. But now it's just.
All right. Well, why
You'd
don't
be
we?
worried.
I
but-
got it. So I'm gonna walk over to the drunk people, and I'm gonna cast minor illusion of a 5-foot puddle. That's 5.
Yeah.
Pretty. It's
Yeah,
a lot. It looks
yeah.
like a lot of water.
In a cube.
Yes, and a cube, just a cube.
Okay.
Minecraft style.
You-
You just places a block.
Pick Minecraft.
can I stop the music?
You'd have to tell the bard to stop playing the music,
Hey Bard, shut the fuck up.
and he's like, "No, we're having fun," and he keeps.
I take his instrument.
All right, he has a fiddle. Just letting
Okay,
you
I
know.
take the fiddle.
Okay.
I
he's
pocket it.
upset. He's really upset.
Okay, I don't care. Excuse me.
And everyone
ship.
stops.
The ship is sinking. Look at the water.
All right, what do I have to? A wisdom saving throw?
And then after he says that, I'm
And then-
helping him, and I go, "Abandon ship."
First,
They're
empty your
already gonna have
pockets.
disadvantage because they're drunk. So
Empty your pockets.
Double
that would have
disadvantage.
helped to give them a disadvantage if they weren't drunk. But yeah, so I'll roll. All right, the lowest was a 5, so they all think that it's.
Empty your pockets. Hurry. Jump. You'll
Why are we emptying our pockets?
Because you'll sink.
No, you're right. They started throwing gold out of their pocket.
I'm picking it up.
15 gold total.
Only you pick it up? Whatever.
I toss you
And
2 pieces of gold.
they all jump off the side of the boat.
Thanks, Havok. I'm gonna get myself fancy new armor.
With your 2
You just robbed a bunch of drunk dwarves.
I didn't. I was given to it from a friend.
Right, loopholes. Sorry.
All right, guys, we got the ship.
Did the captain go back to his quarters?
He was standing. He knew you guys weren't going to do anything lethal, so he just stood
Okay.
there and watched. He's dying.
Did you roll for wild magic, by the way, too?
What?
For that one?
Oh, for that one? No, I did not. I will, though.
The ship sinks.
You electrocute the ship captain. No!
No.
No, remember the meme we've been talking about since we started the
No.
Wild
The
Magic?
fireball?
No. Yeah.
You turn into a potted plant until the start of your next turn. You're a potted plant. You're incapacitated and are vulnerability to all damage. If you drop to 0 hit points,
All
your pot
damage?
breaks and your form reverts. So you're a potted plant till your turn ends.
So Havok just turns into a potted plant.
Yes,
But it's not.
Until my next turn.
until your next turn, but I don't know when that would be.
I'm
I'd
just
say
staring.
6
I'm just
seconds.
staring at the plant.
Wait, can I speak
Grimlick.
at all?
No, you're
Grimlick.
incapacitated. Technically, you're like unconscious.
Grimlick, is that did Havok just turn into a plant?
I'm not sure. Should we water him?
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure salt water is bad for plants.
He turns back into a goblin.
Oh.
Well,
Is
that
he
sure
like
was
coughing
queer.
out soil or something?
You revert back and you have like a leaf eye.
He's like,
and you're spitting out
he's
soil.
and he's like sitting there on his back like photosynthesis.
What is the captain
SpongeBob
saying?
memes.
Is he like look bewildered right now?
He was laughing at the fact that you just got this entire crew to jump off
Sure,
the side
sure.
of the boat. But he started even laughing even harder when he turned into turned
Okay.
into a potted plant and then back.
Wait,
into
do
a
I know I
plant.
turned into a potted plant?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah,
See that trick?
you're not just gonna forget it.
Havok, are you okay?
Do I still have a leaf on my head?
Yes.
I pluck it and eat it.
Okay.
I feel great.
Okay.
Now,
Is that like eating your own skin?
No,
Not
he's not
sure.
a plant anymore.
It was
Oh, sorry.
attached.
Was
wait,
DM
is
talking?
it still attached to me? Wait, is it still like part of me.
If you want it to be.
I want a part of me and I don't want to eat it. I just want to have a leaf.
So it's a part of you?
Yes.
So you're just going to leave it there?
Yeah. On top of my head.
It covers where the hair was.
Okay. All right.
Pip looks over the side of the boat. He's like,
I forgot.
I,
Still
I
here.
was just about to say, I
"Are they
forgot
all
you were there.
drowning now? And a lot of them have disappeared.
I'm not gonna look. Captain, do you think we can lift off now? Do you
Absolutely,
think we can get out of here? Not Havok. No.
What do you
Wait,
think,
before
What
we-
do you think this is? Some sort of a flying boat thing?
What?
You said you want to take off.
Yeah.
I think he means as in
set sail.
as in fast, Captain.
Okay, all right. And he walks over to us. He waddles
You could
over.
take off
wanna
running.
drive
It
the
doesn't,
boat.
it doesn't have to be flying.
Oh, now you're a smart ass.
Captain, I don't know if you know much of the Brotherhood's plans, but I think we're trying to find a place called Adelaide.
Yeah. I knew they were gonna set sail over there. Big lad, come over here. Help me pull up the anchor. And he points
Me?
over to Helm.
I'm looking around. I'm like, oh yeah, all right, right away.
Are you sure you don't need
So
my
you
help?
guys pull up the chain together. He's a burly dwarf. Like I said, got his captain's hat. He's-
25.
for strength. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're behind him, but he's not really doing much. You kind of just
Yeah.
see it yourself. So he's wearing blue. A lot of his outfit's more of a lighter baby sky blue, and outlined in kind of a dark gold. And then his hat's kind of the same way. He doesn't, unfortunately, have a peg leg, but he does have a waddle to his step. And he starts waddling over. He goes down because the way it was set up is the upper deck, lower deck, upper deck again. You guys were on the upper part of the deck where the wheel was. He waddles over to the wheel, or up the stairs and onto the wheel. And he kind of points at Havok. He's like, "You said you wanted to steer the boat, right?"
I need the hat first.
And he's like, "All right, come here." So you obviously go up to him. All right, he takes off the hat and he
Are Grimlick and I, excuse me, away from him,
away from him.
the captain?
Yeah, if you guys, you're on the lower deck because you just help tug
Yeah.
up the.
Is Grimlick, are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Can we be sure we can trust this guy? I mean, he's been on this island, hired by the Brotherhood.
He doesn't seem like a
Liam.
member of the Brotherhood.
Are we good?
I mean, I know that, but I just we
I
have
think-
to be sure. I don't want to fall asleep and then end up back at that island and chained up again.
I
Guys,
understand
let
the
me-
concern. I think we should.
You don't know he's
I
there.
think we should stick
but
with
he's
this
got
plan
his
until
hands
something goes
drifting
wrong.
behind
What's
your
Pip
back.
doing?
He's,
Yeah, we should talk to him.
He's still staring at the people who are drowning because there's nothing he can do.
Pip, stop looking at them. Get
He
over
looks
here.
over. He's
There's
got
nothing.
tears in his eyes.
There's nothing we can do. Just
But
come,
they're drowning.
get over here, Pip.
Guys, I don't feel so good.
He looks.
Oh yeah, Captain. He gets seasick. Just heads up.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
12.
Okay, you throw up on the wheel. He's like, all right, that's enough.
On
And
the wheel.
he takes you off and he takes his hat off. He's like, go get better. I've gotta clean this up.
I thought the hat was mine.
Maybe later.
No, now.
Now, Pip, back in the ritual room.
You guys set sail, by the way.
Okay.
I'm gonna paddle.
You
I'm gonna
hit-
walk over to them.
You hit me and kind of woke me out of that trance, but whenever I hit someone, it didn't happen. So what's going on there? Do you know?
Well-
do you know what happened?
You all just think of me as a stupid kid.
I don't think that, Pip.
Well, I know you don't, but they do.
It's because they're losers.
Aye, Pip, you've been causing a bit of problems for us, but
You had problems. I helped you with the King's Guard.
I understand, but
You also led us into a trap, and
just
we're very insistent
listen.
on us going.
You guys have kind of signed yourself up to be heroes now, and I just wanted to do the same thing. I thought we were doing the right thing.
I understand, Pip, but these snarky comments of yours, they've got to stop.
Not only that, but
What snarky comments?
you knowing
Just
more
like that.
than you kind of leading on to know is a little suspicious. I feel
you
like
also live in this world, and you know it's not always wise to play with all your gold chips on the table, don't you know?
I mean, I'm a knight.
All right,
I
listen.
kind of everyone knows my deal.
I know how to use a sword really well. I'm of a especially trained set of kids that know how to sling spells and use swords. Not a lot of people can do that.
Oh, I can
So
do
you're
that.
saying you're a spell sword?
And he opens up his satchel at his side and he shows you and he flashes you in a very old looking book. He's like, and this is my spell book.
So what exactly did you do
He
to
closes
turn
it.
me back to normal?
I used what actually need to look up what he actually used on the sword real quick. I used one of our spells that we learned as kind of a novice training. It's protection from good and evil. Basically, if you're in a trance or taken over in any type of way, that spell upon contact will break whatever spell or hypnotism is going on.
Oh, I know that spell. I can do it.
Well,
Without blowing people up, though.
I
can do that.
I appreciate your help and all. It would have been nice to know before I went running into my possible death that's what you did. But nonetheless,
But you're telling me you guys
I
did,
appreciate it.
like, you tried using your magic in the crypt. You didn't feel that there was some sort of blockade before we went in?
Wait, yeah. How were you able to use a spell
Yeah,
when
I
there
was
was a
just about to
blockage of
ask
the
that.
magic?
I didn't use it in the crypt. I used it outside. The same time you healed Havok, I put it on my sword because I knew something was fishy.
See, this is why we need Pip. He's a good guy.
I'm trained for this kind of stuff. And you guys look to be on the best path, so I thought I'd tag along and hopefully make a name for ourselves.
Okay.
See, Helm, he could have saved it before you killed that innocent child mother. You remember that? Good old times.
I look away and ignore him.
All right,
Like-
Pip, I appreciate you being honest with us. And although we don't always get along, I appreciate what you've done for all of us. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Helm?
I already said I'm thankful. I still think it's fishy.
Say it
though.
again.
It's okay. It's really all right. It's like I said, it was something I trained for. It's really just magic and a sword. And kind of like perks up after you notice that he was sad when he saw the people
Yeah.
going overboard, but after this he perks back up and he's his normal Pip self.
Okay.
And he looks down. He's like, I kind of saw what he did back there. And he takes his pin off. And he chucks it and throws it across the water. You know, his I Heart Jargon pin
Yeah, right.
that he got a couple of years ago.
Well, good.
And he takes it off and he chucks it into the water.
Why would you do that?
It's. He
I
just
smack
killed-
Havok in the back of the head,
He just killed hundreds of people.
Well, so did Helm.
and he wanted
No,
to.
Helm killed 2 people. Well, 4 if you want to count the guards.
I will
Sorry, I
forgive that one.
didn't mean to. Yeah, it's whatever. And then he walks away.
Okay.
He finds a nice place of hay to kind of lay down.
And Havok, I just want you to know that I did what I could to fight that hypnotism spell, whatever the heck was going on with me, to stop myself from killing you, because I could have, and at the time I wanted to, but I fought back the best that I could.
Did you just say you could have stopped that spell, but you couldn't?
No, I could have killed him,
Oh,
and I wanted
okay,
to,
okay.
but I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah. My hero. And I take the fork and I throw it at you and walk away.
My hero.
Grimlick, I think we should maybe set some watches to keep watch over the party.
I agree.
Party's gone.
Also, make sure that Havok is
Oh,
not
yeah,
on a
can,
watch by himself.
Well, I guess
Aye.
it doesn't really matter. Never mind.
Can I, while he's steering the boat, can I go search his headquarters?
The door, you can obviously see where the quarters is, and it's right below him. And you go to try and open the door, and it's locked.
We are going to take turns resting in shifts.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Helm
fine.
and I.
All night, or are you just gonna keep resting and waking up until the boat ride? I don't know how you guys want to do that.
We're gonna get a total of 8 hours.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you guys do that.
So that being like
All
4 hour
rested up.
increments or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you left the island, it was late. You don't know how late it was. You wake up. It's between morning and midday now. And it did not take very long to get to this body of land that you see out in front of you. As soon as you all wake up, I don't know if you guys are on the lower deck beneath
No,
where
I
you
mean,
came up,
I
because that's
was-
where Pip went.
I was on the top.
Were you
of
on the
boat.
main deck?
Yeah, main
Okay.
deck.
So you were there, resting, and Pip came up, and as soon as Pip came up, were you all kind of in the same section, or did anyone go below? That's where Pip
I
went.
mean,
We were sticking together.
Okay.
Man,
I had different plans over the night, but
Did you want to do something during the night? We can.
I was just gonna take his hat.
He's steering the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, he was up all
Yeah,
night.
he was up all night.
I'm gonna ask for the hat in the morning.
No.
Can I persuade him to give it to me?
No. That's me talking. That's not the DM.
What's a DM?
Land ho! Going forward. And you look forward and you see a body of land, and he actually says, "Drop anchor." And he asking one of you.
Is the anchor just on the deck?
Yeah.
All right,
And you just toss
I
off the
heave it
side.
overboard.
Okay. Yeah. So you stop it, and it stops the boat almost immediately, and he cuts the wheel real quick to turn the boat off to the side, and it jerks the boat real quick, and you see him. It looks like an intense battle with the waves and the boat itself, as he skids it to a stop after you drop the anchor, and you all kind of fumble to one side of the ship. And that's the ship that's kind of part of the ship that's kind of leaning over, and you can actually see just giant things of ice right there.
No, no way. It's a Christmas episode.
And he's like, whoa! Could have ruined the ship. All right, laddies.
What kind of steering was that? What's going on?
All right, yeah, I wasn't paying attention, but this is as far as I can take you.
I wasn't paying attention. Wait, how are we supposed to get inland?
It's thick enough. The ice is thick enough. If it was any thinner than what it actually is, then I would sail right through it and just let my boat take it.
How cold is it?
It's pretty cold. It's like
Did-
in real time, like 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Good thing I got my winter blanket. I'm gonna
Yeah.
wrap around myself.
It's pretty cold.
Do you?
Captain, do you know anything about this land?
Yes. Okay.
Before you do that, I'm really cold. Do you got any furs or anything that we could, maybe some cloaks, fur cloaks?
He steps down. He goes into his captain's quarters, and he pulls out 3 things of what seems like some sort of pelts. And he
3.
tosses you. One for you if you wanted it.
Yeah, I'll
What
take
about
one.
Pip?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what they were talking about. They were leaving me out.
He grabs 4 pelts, and he tosses one to each of you. And he's like, just stuff that underneath your armor. You'll be good.
I thank you, Captain.
And this land is...
It won't fit underneath my armor. I don't have enough room under there. I'll just put it over top. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
so
made
this,
for
this,
someone else.
this one thing you might want to know about this land is that its main capital is a dale, which is the main reason why y'all want to come here. It's a slave capital, though. The city is entirely built not from slaves, that'd be really bad, made from the work of the slaves. Everyone in that town owns one.
Even the slaves?
Great question.
Even
but
the
no.
slaves own slaves here.
There might be some sort of hierarchy, but I don't get
Some
myself
caste
involved.
system.
We gotta get to the bottom of this.
So, the one man that they're only going to allow you to speak to is Greaves.
Wait, Greaves is a person? I thought that was a place.
No, Adelaide's the place. Greaves is the slaver.
Wait, what's significant about Greaves again?
The Brotherhood was going to get slaves from Greaves.
Hey,
I can see how that was mistaken to be a place.
Helm. What's a slave?
It's someone who does a lot of work.
Ow,
and
no.
Oh, wait, what?
Pip leans over. He's like, it's someone who works for free, but is severely harmed in doing so.
For free?
It's not great. Yeah.
I go up to the captain. And I
Havok,
go,
it is morally wrong to own slaves.
how do I attain one of these slaves?
Havok, you don't want a slave. Like it's not a good thing to have. It's
He just said everyone has one.
no. He did say, here.
Was I
Here.
not supposed to tell him what a slave was?
No.
It probably wasn't for the
No,
best.
yeah, probably not a good idea, Pip.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Helm, being a farm boy, did you ever have any slaves?
No, we worked ourselves. Thank you very much.
It was just a question.
Were you the slave?
He is a bastard.
Have it get out of here. Anyways, Captain.
Yes.
Continue.
That's mainly what you need to know about it. Is that it's a slave capital. Everyone comes here to buy the slaves. Other than that, Greaves is the main one who runs the town. Even the politicians don't stand a chance.
Well, thank you very much, Captain. I appreciate the information and the ride here.
Now, would you like me to dock here?
This seems just a fine spot as any.
Alright,
Yeah,
so I
that's fine.
won't leave, but every once in a while come bring me back food. I really don't want to go in there.
I will if you give me the cap.
He takes off the hat and he gives it to you.
I put it on.
That's hilarious.
We'll be back,
Okay.
Captain. Thank you.
You're gonna draw a
Bye.
picture of that, right?
All right, so let's head off into the ice and into the town of Adele.
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 I'll go first.
Hello,
Make
Adele.
sure.
No.
It's me.
I'll go first. Make sure the ice doesn't break.
You're like 5 pounds.
Yeah, I'm walking very carefully.
Yeah,
on this
so you guys have
ice.
to kind of hop off the boat first.
Can we slide down the chain?
Can everyone roll me a...
Wait, before
go
we do
through like a
that, Captain, is there
cannonball.
some type of ladder or something we can throw overboard to climb down? I'm sure you don't just have everyone hop overboard.
Yes, I almost completely forgot.
Thank you.
He grabs out from his
Like a rope
quarters.
ladder.
Yeah, rope ladder.
Okay.
Me being the captain, I hop down.
Okay, you hop down. Nothing.
Breaks your legs.
No strength test or
No. Do you want to break the ice?
Think of these.
Cannonball! You break your butt.
So,
Alright.
I will take the rope ladder.
okay, yeah. You guys take the
Same.
rope ladder back.
Yeah, when I step onto the ice, I'm very cautious.
Yeah, as soon as
I've,
you two hit the ice, you start hearing cracking.
Let's,
I
like,
start
spread
running.
out
I've
a
dealt with
little
like
bit.
frozen lakes before back home when I was a kid, and I don't like it.
I start running with Pip. I'm like, Pip, let's go find a slave.
Yeah, I think Pip's not that heavy. He's like maybe 120, maybe. Nah, maybe not even that much because he's only like 4'10".
I'm gonna like walk away from Helm just so we're not like putting our same
Center.
weight on
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, you guys do that. It's probably a smart idea. You make it across the ice. It starts getting thicker. You can definitely tell underneath each footstep. It used to be hollow. You can actually feel your footsteps echoing underneath through the water beneath you. As soon as you get to start getting the thicker ice, it starts feeling like solid, like ground. So you approach. You can see a dale in the distance, but there's not very heavy, but wooded, frosty forests in front of you.
What time of day is it?
It's close to midday. So you
So-
still kind of have that morning sun look to everything.
so we can make it to the town before night,
Uh,
or do we not?
But you
know?
might make it to the town by night. It all depends.
So we can't see it from here.
You can see it.
Oh, really?
Can I see it with
you can-
dark
you can-
vision?
the only reason you can see it in the distance is because it's the snow's glistening off the city.
Okay. Well, are you lads ready to head to the city?
I jump in the snow and make a snow angel.
Have you ever been in snow before?
Nope.
How'd you know to do that?
Well,
Fine, I start rolling
that's
around.
like asking a dog how it knew how to jump into snow. It just does it.
I just jump in and roll around in it.
Okay, all right.
All right,
Havok's
I'm-
having a blast.
I pocket some of it thinking that it's
I
just
pick
gonna
up
stay.
snow and I make a snowball and I throw it at his face.
All right. Well, Pip does the same thing to you. I actually just rolled for that. It hits you right in the face. You guys have a nice little snowball.
Me not knowing what a snowball is,
I
I
rolled a
actually
9.
throw magic at someone.
What kind of magic?
Probably a chromatic orb.
No.
Ice.
No.
Ice?
I pick up snow, but it's like a lumpy piece of ice to get it snow and just pelt it at Helm. Or no,
Okay, roll.
I'm gonna pelt it at Grimlick.
Okay. Roll for it.
Do I see him like getting ready for this?
Yeah, everyone's picking up snow. Oh,
13.
yeah.
No, it's 17.
Oh, 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I react and pull my shield out?
I don't think it would have been fast enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's a snowball.
Yeah. It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit
You're
with
gonna
a
take
snowball.
like 1 point of damage because it's ice. He threw
It's
ice.
snow.
at
It's
you.
not ice.
No, I
No, he
thought
literally
you
said that he
ice.
picked up
Oh,
ice.
you
You did.
It hits Helm and just a brick of
You mean
Helm,
Grimlick?
or Grimlick, and it's just a clump of ice. It hits. It doesn't break. It just hits him, and it falls off. You're just gonna take 1 point of damage.
Fun.
I just glare at Havok and I just start walking towards the city.
Okay.
What's wrong with him? We're all doing it.
No, you don't throw ice at people, Havok. You throw snow. There's a difference. See this white powdery stuff that's all soft? That's snow. You threw a chunk of ice, which is frozen water, which is hard. Yeah, that hurts.
And Pip pops up because he's like towards the back. He pops. He's like, and don't eat the yellow snow.
What's wrong with the
That's-
yellow snow?
You know what?
It tastes like lemons.
You can go ahead and try it. It's better for your first experience.
I'll make some for you.
You guys start heading to the town. Havok's enjoying his time, I would imagine, seeing snow for
Oh,
the
I'm
first
having
time.
fun, and then I'm also like swaying my like gold chain that I found and flashing in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Gold chain from the people who jumped overboard?
No, I found
No,
it.
from the dead bodies.
Oh,
Oh
lock
my
it.
I didn't show it off, dude. I got all this gold on me.
Is there like pictures in it?
You haven't opened.
Oh
it.
yeah, the locket.
It did open,
That's
actually.
right.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
What are the
as soon as you
pictures?
like tossed it over your head, it bopped and it popped open.
Who are the pictures of?
Well, do you want to go up to Havok and examine the?
Yeah.
I'm just like
Locket?
shaking it around.
Havok, what do you
Jump
have?
in
On,
the snow.
what do you have on your neck there?
Take a snowball and throw it at you.
Enough playing around, Havok. I want to know what's on your neck. I'm not trying to take it from you.
It's my. I was gonna say that, asshole.
Beat you to it. I'm sorry, I didn't think you were gonna say it.
I just want to know if it's got anything on it there.
It's got gold on it.
Yeah, but inside of it specifically, it opens up, right?
I don't know what it is.
It's open though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
Do I notice it's photos?
Did you close it? It opened when you first put it on. Would you have closed it?
No.
No. So it's open. You see what looks like a male, female, and a small child.
Do they look familiar?
No.
Okay.
Okay, good.
And it looks like they're all elves. That's
Okay.
about it.
All right. I just wanted to know. I'm gonna keep moving on.
Okay.
Why do you want to know? It's mine.
I was just curious.
Awesome. So as you make your way to the city, you don't run into it. It's midday. Nothing's really out. You hear snowbirds chirping in the distance. It's just a very
What does
nice.
snowbird look like?
Probably white.
It doesn't look like Havok's version of a cardinal. I can tell you that.
You mean a blue jay?
It's just a fatter bird. It has more feathers and just more meat on its bones, so it's a big bird. And it's traditionally just black and white. It's black and it has a lot of white feathers kind of striping across it to make it stand out, but also be able to, obviously camouflage for its own protection. It's a meaty bird, so things want it. You see some owls too, which is something that most of you haven't seen. Most of these owls stick up here too. More of the northern end of this little island that you're on right now.
Do you
Owls.
think we should?
Who?
Oh, I hate you. I hate you. I actually hate you.
Do you think we should maybe hunt some of these birds, or wait until we get into the town? and buy some food?
Let's wait to get back to town. We can hunt them for the captain later on.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. So you just enjoy the environment around you. It's very light snowfall.
We should cut down a tree.
Maybe put some lights on it.
That's
and maybe
weird.
a big jolly man
why would
with
we
some
put some-
presents underneath it.
Why would we put some candles on it? It would burn down.
Candles.
Yep, we are in that world. And
Pip, you got some weird suggestions.
just take.
boy.
Oh, yeah, that was me talking. So you guys make it to town. You made it here a lot faster. With the snow, it just made the distance look a lot further. It's just past midday, so it only took you a couple hours to get here. As you approach the town, though, you are just outside the walls, and as soon as you approach, you see a line of people going out some fairly large doors. They're not huge, like hundreds of feet. They're maybe 50, 60 feet high.
That's pretty big.
That is pretty big.
And well, compared to
That's
you guys,
10
yeah,
regular
I
doors,
forgot. You
10
guys
me
haven't
standing
been.
on
Yeah,
our
you guys
shoulders.
haven't been literally anywhere else.
Yeah.
You're used to hobbit holes, and you're used to regular doors, and you're used
Dwarf
to
Mountain.
sewers.
He's not a hobbit. Halfling.
Kind of. He
D&D
lived in the
language,
Shire.
sorry.
That's
What?
Clairshire,
Yeah.
which is similar to that
Oh.
Shire. But yeah, you just see a bunch of just people lined up outside the city doors.
Wouldn't you get in?
It seems like it. You guys are further away, so you just see
Okay.
these people lined outside.
Well, I say we approach the group of people.
Yeah, maybe find an inn or something like that.
Well, this is to get in the town.
This is you. It looks like the way to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
Okay.
We're gonna keep walking.
So, are you approaching the people?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
right.
as,
we're going towards the door, so.
okay. Yeah. So as you approach,
Excuse me.
you actually notice that these people are all chained up.
Mm.
They have
they
very
found the
little clothing
slaves.
on. Maybe only loincloth and maybe a shirt.
They look cool.
Some
What-
of them
what-
are lucky enough to have shoes. Most of them do not.
What race?
They've been mixed.
Hmm.
You can tell that you know that the king. I will let you know that you haven't seen any dragonborn. The only dragonborn that you know are aware of is the king himself and his dad that was before him.
Yeah.
So what you guys see is basically just a bunch of people lined up outside of these gates, walking into the city, all chained up. They are of the drow race, and they are walking in what seems they're holding various different objects. From the distance that you guys are coming out now, you're coming out of wooded area, so you're still further away from where these people are. You can see the figures, you can make out what type they are, but other than that, you're just you can't see what they're holding, and it looks like there's one person with kind of leading them into the city, and then one person behind them.
Grimlick, are those dark elves?
I think they are.
I've only heard about them in stories. I've never seen one before.
Are we getting one or not?
Havok, no.
They work for
Slaves?
free.
Slaves are bad.
They're not bad. They help out.
No.
The people who own slaves are bad. Do you want to be bad?
I mean, aren't I already bad?
And Pip kind of peeks out from behind you guys. It's like, as much as I want to really go through with this, I'm not very comfortable walking into a city that does this kind of stuff.
I mean, neither am I, Pip, but we gotta complete the mission. You do want to be a hero, don't you?
I mean,
That means putting yourself into situations where you're uncomfortable. Now, if you really don't want to do this,
no,
you can
no.
go back to the ship with
No,
the
no,
captain.
It's
And give me your sword.
But
it's Havok threw up on the wheel. I really don't want to be back there.
yeah, he'll probably make you clean it up.
Yeah.
But I
And
mean,
he
if you're
stands
with
back
us,
up, he
you're
shakes
with
his
us.
head. He stands back up. He's like, "No, you're right. You know what? Let's free them.
Free them?
The entire city.
Pip, I don't know if
What
that's
better
such-
way to make a name for ourselves than to free everyone?
Then we have all those slaves for ourselves.
I say
No, Havok, no. Free them, meaning they're not slaves anymore.
How can you not be a slave?
you
you
are
just-
not the
you don't-
slave. I'm not the slave. They're gonna be like us.
It's because I don't work for free.
They don't want to work for free. That's why it's
It's
called.
not good to work for free, Havok.
I know, because you're cheap.
No. Let's just, you know what? Let's just cut their chains off. Let's just go in there.
You do know that's gonna cause the whole city to come after us, right? slaves included, because they're going to be commanded by their slave owners to attack us, then what are we going to do?
I say we figure out more about the town before we make any bold decisions.
I agree.
That's the
Guys,
goal.
what's the goal?
To at least free some.
I'd say our goal right now is to figure out who this Greaves fella is.
That's going to be number one. He is the head slave master, so maybe we can figure out some things there.
All right.
That is why we're here after all, Pip.
Well, if we're not getting a slave, we might as well act like we have a slave.
Okay, you can pretend to
How
be
about
our
you?
slave.
Helm will be the slave. I'll be the owner. I mean, do you really want me to cast a spell on you?
Pip pulls out his book and he's flipping through the pages and he's like, actually, I've gone on a few missions here and there, and actually, most of the time, goblins are the ones who are the slaves.
I don't work for free.
No, this is pointless. Let's just.
We'll have Helm.
I don't think we need to go into the
Helm
city.
Be our slave.
No.
Let's just head into the
let's go,
city.
We
Havok.
should have asked the captain if people come in here and just trade, do regular things. I don't think you have to own a slave.
Like you
to
said,
come here.
people come in here
I mean,
to buy slaves.
if people ask, we could just say we're looking for a slave
Yep.
ourselves. We don't actually have to get one, but we can say we're looking just to keep them off our backs.
Okay.
All right, are you all ready?
Yeah, let's go into the city.
Let's head in. All right, we're gonna.
I
go.
keep a close eye on Havok.
Yeah. All right. So so as you approach the slaves that are outside the city, you notice the person behind all of them is wearing this.
It's not Kingsguard, is it?
It's not. No.
Okay.
It's a different types of guard. Wearing more of a branded with silver tone armor, and a purple mixed with teal cape over the side.
Okay.
And the crest is of a fancy type of, kind of like a Roman G, if you guys can kind of get what I'm trying to go for there on the sleeve,
Okay.
which, from what you've heard of, is the symbol for Greaves, original. And he pulls out the whip at his side, and you notice him just cranking away at whoever this back slave is, and it's a woman. And you notice she drops whatever she's holding, and she picks it up, and she only picks up part of it, but she's holding more chains.
What she dropped was chains? She
Yes.
dropped chains?
Yes. So whatever she was holding, she dropped it completely, like they were free chains, and she picked one up at a time, and that's when you noticed that she was holding another set of chains.
Why is he hitting her?
Because she's a slave. They beat slaves into submission.
You can control your slave?
All right. So are we
It's a
close?
chaotic neutral character.
Are we close? I gotta say, he's sticking to the alignment quite well.
He's doing really good. You know what? I'm gonna give you inspiration.
Finally.
That's a really good point. That is a
What
really
about
good
us? You're
point.
saying slaves are bad.
Hell yeah.
You know, inspiration.
There we
Sticking
go.
to your character. I already gave you inspiration.
Oh, I didn't know that was for real. Okay.
I told you I was giving that.
Okay.
He called Seth Havok outside of D&D. Completely on accident.
Yeah, no. Completely on accident.
Okay, so yes, so as you start to approach, you're getting.
I
you're
pick up what
basically two,
I pick up what chains she missed, and I go up to her and I hand her.
and the guard stops you right as you start to bend over and grab his. Halt! Let the slave pick it up. And as he does that, he unwinds his whip.
I pick it up.
He whips at your hand and
I'm-
it cracks.
I'm sorry. My slave disobeys sometimes. I'm sorry. And I take my fork and I jab him.
He's like,
Do I look like a
is
slave?
this some sort of joke?
Think it's a joke? This is my slave.
He cracks his whip at you. He doesn't hit you, but he cracks it at you, like in your direction. You feel the wind come off the tip of this.
Can I persuade him?
No.
No. Then what's the point of
Why-
this stupid thing?
Why
To
are
get
these...
dumb people to be persuaded.
Listen, we're new here, so forgive me and my friends. Why are these slaves carrying free chains?
Talk to Greaves.
So, can we talk to Greaves?
Yeah.
Where might we
It's
find
the
him?
holiday. I mean, you might as well go talk to him.
Where
What's
might
the
we find
holiday?
him at?
Wait, no. First, what holiday is it?
It's why, of course. Hold on, let me actually look for it. I have it. Here.
Not
It's-
Christmas.
It's the
Yuletide?
Festival of Bindings.
Festival of Bindings. And
Kinky.
Yeah, you guys are new to the city, aren't you?
what does that mean?
The day that it's a, and he kind of taps his heart. It's like the day that grieves is so nice as to give all the children a fresh pair of bindings and whips and cuffs and chains, and any landovers, they get a free slave.
Sounds kinky.
We get a free slave.
Out of character.
You just talk to Greaves.
All right, I
We gotta go
scoff
talk
and
to
I
Greaves.
walk away
Yeah.
into the town.
And yeah, Pip falls right behind you. He does not want to stick around.
Yeah,
this
no,
guy.
I follow too. I grab Havok behind me and drag him.
All right, and as you're
With
walking
us.
away, he's like, "Remember, talk to Greaves, get a free slave." As you guys head into the city.
You heard the man. Let's go talk to this Greaves.
I kick
Now-
him in the butt.
Now, I'll be honest. You guys walk into the city, and it's a completely different atmosphere.
From that?
From that. As you were outside, it was very kind of depressing,
Mm-hmm.
and no one really wanted to stick around that situation for very long. As soon as you enter the city, anybody that you see on the streets is happily smiling. There's plenty of bards out on the street playing as many things of music of their own that they can possibly play.
I walk up to one of the bards and I start playing my fiddle.
Oh,
I don't
little
know.
buddy, you sound terrible.
What do you mean? This is magic, baby.
It's yeah. You might want to go to the school of the school of music while you're here. It's right over there, and he points to a small little schoolhouse
Is it
that has
free?
a music symbol on it. No, nothing's free here except slaves.
Well, where can I get a slave?
Why
You
are
gotta talk
slaves
to
free?
Greaves.
I don't understand.
Point me the direction.
Yeah, where is Greaves? Do we know?
He points. He's like, it's that building over there. You can't miss it, and it's a giant marble.
Okay, I'm going to talk.
Building.
I'm going to talk to Greaves because that's what everybody's
Yeah,
telling us to
same,
do. Every
same.
single person.
Same.
Don't talk to me. Talk to Greaves. I wonder what we should do.
Let's go. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go, Grimlick.
Okay. So as you approach,
I trail ahead of everyone, playing my fiddle.
He doesn't even know where we're going. How can you trail ahead?
The marble building.
Oh. But if you were actually playing as Havok, you wouldn't know where we were going.
He's following the marble brick road.
Okay.
now everything's a shiny cobble. All
Okay.
right, shiny stone.
Is it snowing in the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very light snow, but everything's snow covered. Yeah, as you take every step, it's a good like inch of snow on the ground.
So I'm like halfway in the ground.
It's, I don't think you're 2 inches tall, but yeah. No, but you make it to the marble staircase leading up to the marble building, and it has the same kind of flags on the outside. It's purple background with a teal G, with some of the purple accents kind of making out the G itself. And you see two of the same types of guards, except both are holding sort of spears. I forget what the true name of it is. Halberds, yeah. Right outside, they're both wearing the same kind of drape over the sides. And you walk up to the doors.
Hello there. We're here to see Greaves.
Not the first. And he kind of taps on the door and it opens up. And as it opens up, you see two beautiful looking elves who are opening the door for you.
Regular elves
Yeah,
or drows?
just regular elves.
I look at my locket and I make a connection that they're both the same creature. And then, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
And as soon as you walk in, they shut the door behind you. Snow's blowing in. They're trying to keep that from happening. They close it. They're not wearing very nice clothes either. Almost exactly the same as the ones that were outside, except maybe a little bit more layered.
Who is it?
Not as great. The elves that open the door.
I walk
The
up to him and
woman
go,
elves.
is it true that slaves work for free?
And they just, yeah. Slaves work for free.
And I get to tell them what to do, whatever I want.
Yeah, that's how a slave works, sir. And she kind of bows her head.
Thank you. No way.
Havok, why don't you ask her if she likes it?
Nah.
I think you already know the answer there. All right. Do we see Greaves or do we not know?
No, you don't see Greaves. You see portraits of Greaves.
Did you see her bow? Because I'm captain.
All right, I suppose.
I got my captain's cap on still.
What the correlation there is? It's just a hat.
Is there anywhere else to go in here, or are we just
It's
waiting?
just basically just a straight shot through. Up a
Okay,
few steps.
Well, let's just keep going.
It's a red carpet, lined with kind of the white frails. I forget what they're called, off the sides of drapes, things like that. As it leads up these steps, you see several portraits of Greaves themselves. Now,
What does he look
for
like?
a holiday episode, I guess you can kind of throw out there and guess exactly what he looks like.
You look like Santa.
He is a big, very large, elven
Jolly
man.
elf.
Elven man with a long white beard. And he's wearing more of a kind of like the beanie that you saw the one dwarf wearing, except it's just red, outlined in the same white frails that you're seeing on the floor. And he is actually in one picture holding a giant red sack. But out of the back of the sack, you see chains, whips, and bindings.
Yeah.
This is messed up. Woo! All right.
And you see a few other pictured frames of different things on the above the fireplace that he has as you're walking towards what looks like more of his office place. It's a longer, just single door, not the double ones that you guys just walked through. Just a single white door that seems to lead into a larger office with one guard standing outside.
All right, let's walk up to the guard then.
I walk up to him before everyone else. We're here to get a slave.
He's like, all right, there's someone in there right now. You're going to have to wait.
Do you not know who I am?
A little blue gob. Why are you blue? Yeah. And he kind of stands back up and he looks forward. He doesn't bother with you.
Who's blue?
How long does it normally take for people to get out of there?
He makes it quick. It's maybe a few minutes.
All right, we'll wait.
We don't wait.
We'll
Alec,
wait.
We're gonna wait.
And opens the door is the jolly big man himself,
Does he have red cheeks?
Greaves. He has very red cheeks, very red rosy cheeks.
Would you say
You
he-
look at him and you just want to smile, but you know what he does and it
I
just makes you
smile.
want to die. And he kind of looks at you and he nods and he's like, you fellows here for some slaves,
Yes,
right?
we are.
All right, give me 1 second. And he's like, follow me. And out walks a human man behind him, which you would assume to be the man who was talking to him that the guard told you to wait. And he walks up all the way down the hall, which is not too far away, maybe 20
Further in
yards.
or
No,
back
no,
toward the
back
door?
where you guys came
Okay.
from. And he walks up to one of the elven women who opened the door for you. And he forcefully grabs her by the back of the neck and kind of forces her forward. And he's like, here you go. Here's your slave. And she starts bawling her eyes out.
Are we in his room right now? Or
No,
is it-
you're still in the hall where you guys walked up to. He just walked out and kind of like just picked a slave
Okay.
and gave.
How many
that's-
guards are there in this building?
Right now, currently where you're standing, maybe one at the door of his office, and then there were two right outside the doors. So you only know of 3.
All right.
But this is a
I'll
large
keep that
house.
in mind.
Okay. Hi there, Greaves. I was wondering if we could talk about something before we get into this business.
All right, and he kind of kind of waves the guy out the door. And he's like, yeah, slaves. You want to talk about that kind of business?
I wanted to know if you've done any business with the Brotherhood.
Are we back in his quarters?
He's walking back towards.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
He's like-
waited until we were.
I thought we
Alright.
were back there.
All right, fellas, come in the room. And as you walk in, he kind of waves you in. And as you wave in, he closes the door behind
Do
you.
a perception check around the room.
Go for
That's
it.
what I was going to do too, to see if there's anything shiny.
For a completely
Not why I'm
different
doing mine. Wow. Okay. Mine was 17 before he hit mine.
Okay. All right. So with a 17, you notice a few smaller picture frames around the room.
13.
Right above his chair, behind a fireplace, is the same large one of him with a bag of the chains and bindings and stuff. He has a few what looks like statues of themselves. And then he has picture framed above a set of what looks like fine dining ware in shelves. Is framed is you see a whip, and above it it's a plaque that says "My First Whip." And he sits down at his giant leather kind of maroon chair at his desk, and he sits forward. He's like, "And how can I help you fellas today?"
We want a slave.
Of course you do. That's why everyone comes to me.
But before we do that, we have some questions for you.
Kind of leans back in the chair. He's like, "You have some questions for me."
Well, he does.
No, you have some questions for me.
I was wondering with your dealings with the Brotherhood,
I deal with them all the time.
how exactly do you deal with them?
They come in, give me a large sum of gold, and I give them whatever slaves they want.
Do you know what they do with those slaves?
All I know is that the last time they came in here, I got 10,000 gold, and they walked out with a hefty amount of slaves.
You got 10,000 gold in this room?
Greaves,
He looks at you.
Greaves, where exactly do you get all these slaves from? You do have quite a large amount of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Yes, I do.
you give them away for free, so I don't see where the
It's
profit
the
is.
Festival of Bindings.
Yeah, but where's the profit?
Well, when you run a business like this, and you own a town in a city like this, you know people. So having some sort of business isn't a very hard thing to do. Now, if you gentlemen are here for a free slave, I will give you just that.
Yes.
But keep asking questions, we might have some guards on our hands.
I don't see what the big problem is. We just want to know where our slaves are coming from before we get them.
Doesn't matter, they're healthy slaves. They'll work for you
And they work
until
for free?
they drop. Then you can come back and buy more. Or wait until next year. They usually last a year.
Just one last question, not about the slaves, about the Brotherhood, if you're willing to answer.
Usually I don't give away some of my business deals,
Helm?
but
Is there only one door into this room
that you see, yes.
that I see?
Yes.
Helm steps in between the jolly man and the door. And
He's sitting at his desk.
Tell
The
you
door's on the other side of the room.
right, I step in front of the door.
Like against the door?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Does the door swing into the room or out?
For fire
Into the
safety
hallway.
reasons, it swings out.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, with my perception check around the room, did I see anything that could be lodged into the doorknob? Maybe an axe or something along those lines?
His first one.
Anything?
It doesn't really have anything in the room. I mean, the only weapon that you actually saw in the room was the whip.
Yeah, but there's nothing, no plank, like nothing that could be wedged.
Is there like a handle, or how's it work?
Yeah, it's just a handle. It's just an ordinary, kind of like it's like the long curly ones that you might see on some doors.
So you'd probably tie the whip to
Modern.
something and then tie it to something in the room.
That'll
So they
take
can
too long.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I'm just standing right by that door, and my hands on my hilt.
What are you thinking there, Helm?
Are we getting a slave?
What is Greaves doing?
He's just watching.
Listen, Greaves, we don't want any trouble here. We just want to know if the Brotherhood's been here recently.
Yes, very recently.
How recently?
Like just left.
So we missed them.
Why are you looking for him?
Wait, he just said they gave him 10,000 gold. Wasn't that how much gold was missing from the city after the Blood Bowl?
Greaves, are you loyal to the crown?
I think that's my business and my business alone of how I see the crown.
Is the gold here or not?
You sure do ask a lot of questions.
I pull out my dagger. Is the gold here?
He doesn't mind the dagger at all. He's just... So before we get to know each other, so as we start to get to know each other a little better, because I feel like you know me and my dealings quite well, why don't you all take a seat? And he kind of maybe definitely looks more towards Helm, and he gestures to one of the comfy chairs in front of you.
I'm happy with standing, thank you very much.
And he picks up a mallet and slaps it on the desk, and a guard opens the door, and
I was ready for that.
There you are.
So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you said you were ready. What were you gonna do? You could just sit down.
I'm not gonna sit down.
Sit your ass down. We'll get a slave. Get the gold. We'll get out of here.
What gold?
How did we get the gold?
I said that out loud as Havok,
It
by
probably.
the way.
I did not say that out loud. As Helm.
Helm, you might want to sit down
but-
there.
What should we like? Would we be okay with beginning into combat here?
I don't. Think,
You're saying this in front of everyone.
I don't think that's a good idea, personally.
All right. So, does the guard opens up the door behind me?
Yeah. Are you letting it happen? Are you doing anything?
You're not gonna keep the door shut.
I can't. I gotta. It opens the other way. I would have to pull it back shut.
Pull
I'd
it-
lose. I'd lose. I'd
Turn around,
lose.
It becomes a tug of war
I'd
between the
lose.
doors.
I'd lose that battle. I just turn around and look at the guard. I guess for now.
All right, and he kind of looks at you, he's like, "Go sit down." Yes, Helm, come sit down. We'll have a talk.
All right, if you're gonna be a bitch, I'll do something. I step on the desk and I stab him in the hand because I'm assuming his hand's on the mallet on the table.
Well, yeah, he
Yep,
hit, and
I
then he
stab
kinda-
him in the
he
hand.
Gestured. Okay.
As Havok does that, I take out my sword and I slice at the guard.
Wait, what card?
The
Oh, the guard.
The
The guard.
guard.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're doing this.
Because I'm guessing Havok stabbing the Holly Jolly dude distracted the guard and allowed me to unsheath my sword and swing at
Yes,
him
I'm
like
not gonna.
the same motion.
I'm not gonna.
I don't ask for advantage.
I'll get
but
you
just,
first attack.
Yeah.
But other than that, so we'll go ahead. We'll take. That was definitely a surprise. You caught me. You caught me by the surprise. So I'll give you first advantage on hitting Greaves.
Okay, so I had to roll to see if I actually hit him.
Yeah.
You roll twice though because you have advantage. Oh, thank goodness. There you go.
18.
So
Okay, yeah, so you
22.
definitely-
22. And then it's a
Just a
1d4
dagger
plus
damage.
4. Or is it plus 6?
Plus 4.
Wow.
6.
Definitely didn't see this one coming.
6 damage
6
to the
damage.
to the elf.
No, to the jolly dude.
No, well, he's not.
Well,
Oh, yeah, he's
Yeah.
out.
To Santa, not Santa.
You
To
said how much?
Krampus.
6 damage.
Alrighty. So then what will give you an attack?
Ooh, 14.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit.
All right,
Yeah, sorry. Level
Yeah.
2 now.
that's fine.
I'm glad I called you a bitch as I did that.
I slice
roll
at
for
him and I ready
initiative.
my sword. So now initiative.
Yeah.
Nice.
Plus my
22.
initiative. 22. I gotta get-
These are really bad rolls for me.
Probably not as bad as mine.
Why? What was yours?
7.
Yes, mine were worse.
Nice.
Where's initiative?
Havok.
I gotta go first?
Well, no. What was your number?
22.
Holy
Right?
crap.
You said 22. It was 18.
What? Yeah. 18 plus 4 is 22. You're right.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure that, like, you said
And-
22.
Yeah, yeah. it's
Grimlick?
22.
10.
Oh, yeah, cool. That fits you right in between. All right, yeah, Havok, you get to go first. So you got the first stab on the big.
What
jolly
does he
boy.
do when I just
He screams.
he screams? Okay.
Man, couldn't like slit his throat or something so he didn't make any noise.
You're really into slitting throats, and it's scaring me.
I'm just saying, it's efficient.
Yeah. I suppose it
Since
is.
I'm already like up on the table, I'm going to pull my dagger out of his hand. Because I'm assuming it's still. Is it still in his hand?
Yeah, it was in his
I'm just
hand.
gonna
Yeah.
leave it in his hand, and I'm going to do shocking grasp. I'm gonna like jump at his neck.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that you
He
stabbed
grabbed his
it
beard.
through just for fun, through his hand and onto the desk. So
Yep.
it's kind of like stuck on the desk.
And then I jumped at his neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shocking grasp.
Sure.
So we're killing the Santa Claus of slavery right now.
On a
Yes.
hit, the target takes 1d8
Beast.
lightning
Yeah.
damage.
Wait, do I have to roll for anything?
No, I think I just roll.
Yeah, he rolls to attack.
Dang.
Nice.
What would it be?
14 plus your spell attack.
14 plus 6. Oh yeah.
Wow, 20. Yep, that's definitely gonna hit.
And then it's a 1d8, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Yep.
One with 8 sides.
Nice.
5. What does it look like when I kill him? I'll tell you.
No, but we are gonna find out what it looks like when we roll wild magic.
Oh man!
Point blank range.
Fireball right at his face.
40. Are you at full health?
Yes.
Okay, nothing happens.
Okay,
You
so
regain
healed you.
2d10 hit points.
Oh.
That would've been sweet.
Okay, Grimlick,
I feel like energized.
Yeah.
it's your turn.
Did I even tell you what my initiative was?
10.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did tell you. Okay. I'm gonna use command on the guard, so he needs to roll a wisdom saving throw,
Okay.
or I'm gonna tell him to drop his weapon.
He failed.
Okay, well then he's gonna drop.
He
his
drops
sword.
his weapon.
My turn.
Who dropped the weapon? The guard behind you.
Hmm.
So what is the
It's
dude?
actually gonna be Greaves' turn.
What weapon was he holding?
He was holding just a sword.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't holding. Those are the guards outside that were holding halberds. He was just the guard that was standing outside.
Right.
Had just a
I didn't know if you had
sword.
an axe or something.
No. All right, so Greaves is actually gonna go.
What is he doing when I'm?
He's just gonna. He's
Electrocuting
going
his
to.
neck.
Okay, so yeah, so you grabbed his neck. Okay, so you kind of like
Or-
have his beard
Neck and beard. Yep.
wrapped around, and he has a very large neck. It's very meaty. And so you grab kind of like your hands are like this, and he kind of tries to grab your hands and yank you off and toss you. That's all he can really do. After that,
Well, he's only
kinda-
got one hand. Remember.
The one
This is
hand stuck to
true.
the desk.
That's true. That's a good point. So I can't. So I have to remove you first, and then remove the dagger. Okay. So I'm gonna roll just to hit your armor class to see if I pull you off. That's Helm.
Alright.
That's a negative.
So what does he do? Pat my back?
I don't know. He got a 1, so I'm just gonna let it go.
with my, where is the whip? The first whip in proximity to me.
So you are, if you are facing towards Greaves himself, looking to your left, his right is the plaque on the
All
wall.
right. So I'm gonna run over. Smat is in like a
No,
case.
it's just hanging.
All right. I'm gonna grab the whip. Go behind him because he's kind of stuck in his chair. I'm gonna wrap it around his neck and pull.
I'm
to
a part of the
strangle him.
neck. You wrapping me up to his neck.
Get like right under his chin, trying to avoid Havok's hands, and I'm just gonna like twist and pull
Okay.
and like
You're
go
trying
to
to
strangle
snap
him.
Yeah, he can't do anything. Yeah.
That's a roll.
Go for it.
What would it be? I mean, it doesn't really
Strength.
matter. Okay, sweet.
Don't kill him, Helm. Don't kill him.
That would be a 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what
Is
the
there a
damage die would be.
suffocation
That.
roll?
Probably a saving
I
throw.
mean, I feel like
Yeah.
it just kind of happens, right?
It'd probably be like a saving throw if it
You're
like.
not. You're just wrapping it kind of as leverage, or are you trying to choke and kill him?
I'm trying to choke and kill him.
Wow, change your alignment from like lawful good to lawful.
It's a
like,
slave
evil.
owner. Yeah, he was a
Okay,
terrible
the
person.
line is very blurred here.
I feel like
Okay.
that would be.
Are you?
So
you're
doing is
be-
chaotic.
So you're
good.
behind him.
What?
You're behind. him.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
that's chaotic good because he would still
Okay,
be like
hold on.
lawful, not
I'm
doing
gonna
anything.
have the crowd quiet here for a second. You see the pictures on his desk,
Oh gosh. Okay.
and you see a very skinny, tattered beard, young Greaves, with a very beautiful human woman
Wait.
and a very
Wait.
small elvish baby.
Wait a second. Wait. No. No, this is not happening right now.
So continue.
Is that? Wait a second.
That's all you see.
Wait. Wait.
You better just kill him.
No.
What a Christmas episode.
Is it?
So are you stopping to think about this?
Is
This
that
is,
my,
this is happening while you're pulling.
is that my mother?
That is your mother.
Daddy.
That's your real it's your real pops. That's why he's so fucking
What if you
weird.
kill him first and then you let him see
I
that?
let go of the whip, not completely, but like the non-handle side of it, end of it. so that it slacks.
So are you kind of throw it over him and pulling, or like a whip? Do you have it around his neck? Like, did you? Just
I guess
throw
I
it
like
over?
went around, but like I let go of
So
one
are you
hand and
holding-
just kind of let it go.
Okay, so are you?
I was holding
both
each end,
ends?
right, and
Or
I'm
are you
letting
just
go of
holding
the
one?
non-handle one.
Okay. So the kind of like the tip end.
The tip, yeah.
He just
so
let
is
it
still
fall
wrapped
over.
around his neck,
It's gonna loosen.
loosen, but it's just still there.
No, it's gonna drop.
Oh, so it drops to the floor. Okay.
I'm gonna-
It's your turn.
Stab him.
I walk up to that picture and I look at it closer. And does that look like me?
It is
I mean-
what looks like a young Greaves and a very young version of your mom.
But the kid.
You can tell that that's your mom.
Kid looks ugly, big ass
The
ears. It's
kid-
probably
The kid is You've never seen baby pictures of yourself before.
I grab him by like the hair in the back of his head and like put the picture in front of his face. I go, "What is this?"
Okay, there's a goblin in the way, just letting you know.
I turn his head slightly away
Okay.
from the goblin. I go, "What is this?"
He's like, so you got your hands around his neck. You're not choking, but you're holding. He's frazzled from the lightning. How does he sound?
Is that a concentration?
Shocking grasp?
No, the
Command?
command.
It's till the end of his turn.
So he hasn't gone yet. The guard
It's
hasn't
only
gone
until
yet.
the end of the guard's turn.
Mhm.
Oh shoot!
so was he just sitting there awkwardly like?
He dropped. It's basically this is all happening at
Oh,
once.
okay.
So I guess we are going to kind of go out of battle for a second. We're having a conversation with him. So it kind of drops battle. It'll pick up if things get heated again. And he's like, that's my love. And he's frazzled. He doesn't know what to do because he was shocked by lightning.
I turn
and
around.
stabbed in the hand by a goblin.
I try and look at the image. I'm like, damn, she's pretty high.
Havok, now's not the time.
Grimlick, look at this picture.
I see. She's a very beautiful woman.
This
This little ugly.
this
ugly
this
little
is my
tiny dude.
mother.
And he kind of like stops for a second. He's like, Helm.
No.
Now we know where he gets it from.
No.
Wow, I'm
Full
really
stop.
glad that you guys put the two together.
Yeah.
Helm, Greaves.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
How far in are we?
No.
Hour and 35.
Yeah, we better to be continued.
Yeah, let's end the episode
Oh
there. We'll
my
pick up the rest of
God.
this Christmas episode the week after Christmas. So everyone out there have a fun and
Holy
safe
crap.
holiday. I know all of us here are going to enjoy it. Helm is
Happy
going to go
New
have a
Year.
midlife crisis real quick. But we will be back the week after this airs. So
I'm definitely hanging myself now.
cool.
That's awesome.
Helm is definitely hanging.
I've never saw that.